Finn, where's Rey? She could have helped you save the day. Falcon, where are your wings? They could have helped you save the day. And god damn, everybody hates Chris, but not as much as these white cops. This is Another Opinion on Kathryn Bigelow's Detroit. Let's start with the aesthetics. I really loved the editing in this movie. The constant cutting recreates what I can only imagine African Americans in Detroit in 1967 and really throughout US history have felt. This constant choking, this legitimate paranoia that if you let your guard down at all, you might end up arrested, beaten, killed. It is a movie that makes you squirm at parts because the atmosphere that it creates, it's crazy because it creates this atmosphere by not giving you an atmosphere to take oxygen in from. While directors like Sofia Coppola and David Fincher create atmosphere by locking the camera down, no cuts, just letting the shot speak for itself. Bigelow keeps the camera moving, keeps the editors pushing the button to make the on-screen images seem as on edge as the actual characters. Instead of letting us get lost in a shot, Bigelow makes us get lost in the commotion of the riots and the events in the Algiers motel. And I really appreciate the artistic way she tried to get the audience to feel as close as possible to the way the people on screen felt. There's also the little things Bigelow and her editors choose to focus on with such a jumpy camera that are just brilliant. There's this scene where you go from seeing a father's face to seeing him just ever so slightly fumble his glasses after getting a phone call involving a possibly dead son. And that half a second of creating empathy for a person is just, it's masterful. And the acting from Anthony Mackie, John Boyega, Pennywise, William Poulter, it's just great. That guy is frightening. When this movie hits, it hits hard, but it also has some falls. And when it falls, it falls. There are some pretty cringy line readings in this movie. They're like daytime soap opera bad, and it could easily take somebody out of the movie. One person's like, who could do something like this? Another's like, it's a deep pain that never heals. Another one's like, you are tearing me apart, Lisa! There's some amateur acting in there. And also there's attempts at getting us to care about certain characters that just go a little too far, particularly with these two. The movie spends quite a chunk of time begging us to care about these characters, and it is to their detriment. A few lines about hopes and dreams and a shot that sums up their friendship is really all I needed, but it keeps going. It hits you over the head with the care about these two kids message, and because of that, I ended up not caring as much as I could have. I ended up crying more over the fact that this event actually happened to real people, and less so that it happened to the characters on the screen. I don't think it's the actors' fault. I think they did a pretty good job. I just think Bigelow could have reined it in a little bit in terms of character development. Same goes for the third act. Bigelow tried to jam a whole nother movie in there with the trial stuff, and it doesn't work. Mean lawyer Jim doesn't work, because I can't root against Jim. Who can? At least get Dwight. That might make some more sense. Or Andy. Nobody really liked Andy. That's good. And yeah, all the tension by the time we get to the trial, it's not there anymore. And it's because, sadly, we know who the court is going to favor. The cops. And with that said, we can move on to the actual message of the movie. If you see other right movies like Do the Right Thing or Dog Day Afternoon, you'll see that there's a sort of vibrancy to them. There's some color, a tinge of hope in the bleak situations that they depict. At no point does the movie really make you feel like there's no hope in our fight against police brutality and racism. Detroit, on the other hand, is kind of devoid of the hope those movies have. There is no dancing Rosie Perez. The only time we get that Attica moment of revolution, it's immediately shut down by the court. And at the very end of the movie, where we read about where the people involved with the Algiers event are now, we learn that a lot of them ended up hiding. Even the one character you think might do something more in terms of fighting oppression just ends up hiding. And I'm not trying to place any judgment on the actual people or the choices that they made. It makes sense. It's just, I think it's interesting that we decided to put this story on film. It reflects the sort of confusing time that we're in terms of activism. We tried nonviolence, we still got Eric Gardner. We tried violence, we still got dead leaders. We tried compliance, and we still got Philando Castile. With no place to go, the movie seems to say hide. And I'll be honest, I'm usually all for giving up. If I was the main character in The Walking Dead, there'd only be one episode, because as soon as I found that there was a zombie apocalypse, brains out of body immediately. But that's a fictional situation. This is civil rights. This is actual people's lives. Those are worth fighting for. And from the Black Lives Matter movement to the most recent online protests against HBO's Confederate show, it seems that most people aren't ready to hide yet. The movie is powerful when it's powerful, it's weak when it's weak, but it poses some really difficult questions about the effectiveness of activism, and I think that makes up for some parts, and it's really just really good filmmaking. So I'm giving Detroit 8 Will Polterize out of 10. Let me know what you thought of the movie. Let me know. Did you think it was a masterpiece? Did you have some gripes with it? Let me know in the comments. Talk to me. Also, if you can, like this, subscribe to this, share it with friends, buddies, budding enemies, everybody. Just share it. Share me. Stalk me on Twitter. It's nice. Always nice. And yeah, enjoy your day.